zechuyot, people of chesed. Your house is open, your hearts are open. You guys are just so amazing, and it's so befitting that the Torah today was in your home. The beautiful children you have, chupot, the karov b'shvat Hashem. And Baruch Hashem, it's so befitting that the Torah was there, and b'shvat Hashem continue to grow in Torah and Mitzvot for 120 years. As we all know, of course, we're in a very difficult situation as a nation. And Oren discussed with me many times, mainly after Shachrit, we just speak and speak. Is this the right time to do this? Shall we do it? Is it appropriate? As it's so tough to celebrate when our brothers are suffering. Oren was just mentioning to me how his parents have to go to the stairwell because the bomb shelter's in the basement and his mother's difficult for her to walk. It's difficult times. How can we celebrate during this time? Though we are suffering, though we are hurting, at the same time, we as a nation are trying to figure out how to win the war. We're seeking how to strengthen ourselves spiritually, and we're strengthening, Baruch Hashem, very much so in our achdut and our Jewish unity with one another that we haven't done for a very, very long time. And all of those components are connected to Limud HaTorah, to the learning of the Torah, which is the Ikar, the main thing of Hachnasat Sefer Torah. And therefore, it is very appropriate to have the Hachnasat Sefer Torah during this time, as connected to the Torah as our strongest weapon that we need in order to win the physical war, in order to win the spiritual war on an individual level, and certainly on a national level. There's an amazing hint I recently heard. There's so many things going around that coincides with how the strengthening of Torah gets rid of our enemies. The words that we said at Har Sinai were Na'aseh v'nishma. We said, Hashem, we're going to do it. And then we'll listen to the details. We're going to do it. Na'aseh v'nishma. The Gemara Masechet Shabbat famously says, Hashem says, Mi gilat razeh. Who revealed such an amazing secret, such noble words, such an amazing vocabulary to my children? These are angelic words. The Malachim speak like this. Na'aseh v'nishma. But there's another secret here. The word Na'aseh, its root word is Aseh. Oseh. Ayin, Shin, He. Nishma, its root word is Shema, Shin Mem Ayin. These are the same root words as Esav and Yishmael. Naaseh, Esav, Venishma, Yishmael. And therefore Hashem is hinting to us, when we connect to the Torah, our enemies are swallowed up, just like they're swallowed up in the words Naaseh Venishma. There's a midrash that takes this idea to the next level. The Midrash says that when Adam HaRishon was created, the Malachim and Shamayim were jealous. They thought that they're going to be replaced by man. And therefore, the Samech Mem, aka the Satan, worked hard to get Adam and Chava to sin. So he found the slyest of animals, the Nachash, to carry out his plan. And unfortunately, he succeeded. The Samech Mem, which is full name, I'm not going to say it out, I'm not supposed to say it out, but the letters are Samech Mem and Aleph and Lamed, used the Nachash Nun Chet Shin to carry out the plan. In the words Samech Mem, Aleph and Lamed, and the letters Nachash Nun Chet Shin, you could form the word Hamas. The Chet from the Nachash, and the Samech and the Mem in the word Samech Mem Aleph Lamed, the name of the Sitra Achra, the Satan. Hamas, as we saw in the parasha, is there. It's the definition of atrocities, definition of robbery. Ki male'ah haaretz Hamas. The world was filled with Hamas. It needed to be destroyed. Hashem destroyed Hamas. We're going to see that very soon, Zot Hashem, here as well. So, in the words, Samach Mem Aleph and Lamed and Nun Chet and Shin, you have the word Hamas. What about those other letters? What about the Aleph and the Lamed and the Nun and the Shin? Aleph is the gematria of 1. Lamed is the gematria of 30. Nun, gematria of 50. Shin, the gematria of 300. If you learned Parashat Noach, these numbers should be familiar to you, as these are the measurements of the Teva. 300 was the Teva's length, 50 the width, 30 the height, and 1 amma on top for the open window. And therefore, how do we destroy Hamas? The Teva. What is Teva? Teva means the word, Tevot, the words of Torah, the words of Tefillah. That's how we can destroy Hamas, through the Teva. The main Teva of a person is the words of Torah and Tefillah. We have to stick to our Tevot, and we will get rid of the Hamas. And just like the Teva protected Noah, it's the Tevot that protected us throughout our history. It's our holy Torah, the Tevot of the Torah. Let's take this another step further. The holiest Tevot, the holiest words that we have, are Hashem's names. We know we can't say Hashem's name in vain. The holiest of those names, Aleph and Dalet, Nun and Yud, Adnut, and Yud and He and Vav and He, Shem Havaya. If you take those two names, you put them beside each other, and just like when it comes to building, you multiply. You're a contractor here at Oren, and the measurements are 300 by 50 by 30, so too if you multiply the first letter of both names, so the first letter is Aleph, and the first letter is the Yud, that's 10. 10 times 1 is 10. And then you have the second letter, Dalet and He. 4 times 5 is 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. And then the third letter is Nun, and the third letter is Vav. 50 times 6 is 300. And the last letters of Hashem's name, Yud and He. 10 times 5 is 50. There again, in Hashem's names, you have the measurements of the Teva, showing us how important the Tevot, the words of the Torah, are. And that's what protects, just like the Teva of Noah protected. I want to tell you a secret. I'm not the only one that thinks this way. Personally, I cringe whenever it's Ben Azmanim, whenever the yeshivot are closed, as the level of Torah in the world is weakened. The voltage of Torah learning in the world is much less. And I always worry what's going to happen during this time. And unfortunately, throughout the years, there's been terrorist attacks, and there have been different things that happen during Ben Azmanim. And it's not a coincidence that this story, though it was on Simchat Torah, the day of the happiness and the enjoying of Torah, but the yeshivot were closed, and the yeshivot were on vacation. The voltage of Torah was much, much less. Ki em chayenu ve'orech yamenu. The Torah is our life. The Torah is the lengthening of our days. We're supposed to be learning Torah day and night. I want to end with the following point. It's very hard to have this following point in mind, but we must remember this. There's no such thing as Hamas. There's no such thing as Hezbollah. There's no such thing as Iran either. It's all Hashem. Hashem is sending us messages, and our job is to pick up on them. Of course, don't get me wrong, we have to do our due diligence. And as the Rambam says, whenever someone comes to destroy Bnei Yisrael, it's a milchemet mitzvah. It's not a milchemet reshut. The difference between an obligatory war and a war that's not obligatory. If Bnei Yisrael want to extend their land, that's not an obligatory war. But if they're coming to destroy us, that's a milchemet milchemet mitzvah. And of course, we have to get rid of our enemies. But we have to remember, it's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem is sending us messages. And therefore, in the zechut of tonight's Sefer Torah, in the zechut of Bnei Israel, in Eretz Israel and worldwide, and the zechut of our soldiers and our captives to all come home safely very soon, I advise and I guide each and every one of us to take upon ourselves 5 minutes extra of Torah learning. For the woman, 5 minutes extra of Tehillim. Extra meaning, if I already learn a half an hour a day, I already say Tehillim for 10 minutes a day. Do a little bit extra in zechut of what's going on right now. Everyone here made a nice donation. Everyone here wrote a letter in the Sefer Torah. Now the last piece left is to actually partake in Torah study, and that's our strongest weapon. Bezrat Hashem, and we do so, and we put in our effort. Hashem will grant us the Yeshua and Nechama that we're so long looking for. B'zchut HaTorah Kedosha, b'zchut the mitzvot, b'zchut the Achdut, Bezrat Hashem will all grant Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meiram v'yaminu.